A few weeks ago, Dubai was one of the hottest property markets on the planet. And now, investors are watching footage of explosions in a city they just invested in.
Vas-y, j'ai envie de dire à Sarah de descendre, on se calme. Après,
Wondering what on earth to do. In fact, my phone hasn't stopped since this escalated. Clients from all over the world are asking the same thing. Is Dubai done? But I've seen this market long enough to know that moments like this are almost never as simple as the headlines make them sound. So in this video, I'm going to break this down. What's actually happening on the ground, what it means for Dubai property right now, and what the right moves are from here. Section 1. How has the war affected Dubai so far? So let's start by looking at what's actually happened since the war began, because before we can talk about what to do, we need to get the facts on the table. What most people get wrong is that most investors expected this to follow the usual script: a few scary headlines, a short pause in activity, then back to normal. But this one is different. Let's just look what physically happened. Iranian drones struck near Dubai International Airport. Debris from intercepted missiles set the Burj Al Arab on fire. The Fairmont, the Palm was hit. Jebel Ali port was struck. And an AWS data center in Dubai was damaged by shrapnel. Reportedly, the first time in history a major cloud facility has been caught in a conflict. And according to Emirates News, the airport was closed for hours and international airlines started suspending routes. This isn't a war happening somewhere nearby that you watch from a safe distance. It is happening inside Dubai. And the markets reacted fast. The Dubai Real Estate Index dropped 20% in just 5 sessions, wiping out every gain the market had made in 2026. S&P flagged real pressure on the luxury segment. But honestly, the index number isn't even the biggest part of the story. The bigger issue is what CNBC described as Dubai's safe haven narrative being shattered. For almost 20 years, the pitch to wealthy families and global investors was simple: put your money here, live here, and you'll be completely insulated from whatever is happening in the rest of the region. That pitch is now being questioned openly for the first time. Now, if you're trying to understand the situation properly, you probably realize something. This isn't just a property story. It's a geopolitical, economic, and confidence story all at the same time. And that's exactly why I built the 2026 Investor Strategy Kit to break down the market data, the areas that are most resilient, and how serious investors are stress testing their portfolios right now. If you want the step-by-step framework behind this analysis, grab it using the link in the description. Does this break the Dubai property story or just stress test it? What most people get wrong: when people see a 20% index drop and headlines about a shattered safe haven, the natural assumption is that the property market underneath has collapsed too. Let's be honest, this has created real pressure, and there are 3 reasons why. Number 1, the safe haven narrative that has taken a genuine hit. A big part of what Dubai's growth over the last 5 years has been wealthy people relocating here because they believed it was insulated from regional chaos. If that confidence doesn't come back, you lose a meaningful source of demand. Second, tourism-dependent areas like Marina, Downtown, and Palm will feel it if flight routes and visitor numbers take a sustained knock. And thirdly, and this one was already building before the war, the supply pipeline. Fitch had already predicted prices could fall up to 15% in 2026 because of the volume of new units coming to the market. With around 120 units forecast for delivery this year alone, the war didn't create this vulnerability, it just accelerated it. But none of this means the market is done. According to analysts, Dubai isn't facing a crash. It's facing a bifurcation. The premium end keeps absorbing international capital, while oversupplied mid-market segments go through a correction. The core fundamentals like zero tax, golden visa, rental yields of 6 to 9%, strong government, none of that has changed. The assets under pressure right now are exactly what you'd expect: speculative off-plan projects with no real end-user base, and anything only works when sentiment is hot. Quality assets in established communities with real tenants are a completely different story. How to position yourself moving forward. What most people get wrong: in a moment like this, investors tend to do one of two things. They either panic and sell everything at worst possible time, or they freeze completely and do nothing, telling themselves it'll blow over. For example, when COVID hit in 2020, a lot of investors sold Dubai assets at steep discounts, convinced the market was finished. Within 18 to 24 months, the communities they sold were seeing double-digit rental and price growth. They didn't just lose money, they missed the entire recovery. Meanwhile, investors who held quality, well-located stock and had the ability to sit still watched their assets quietly become significantly more valuable without doing anything at all. That same dynamic is performing right now. There are 4 things to run every decision through right now. First, end user demand over tourist demand. Established residential communities where people live long term are far more insulated than areas that run on tourism and short term rentals. Second, yield over speculation. If your asset is generating real rental income with a tenant on a multi year lease, you can hold through volatility. If you're depending entirely on price appreciation to make the numbers work, your position has changed. Thirdly, cash. The distress opportunities showing up across prime Dubai right now require liquidity and speed. Dry powder in this environment isn't just a defensive move, it's how you go on offense. And number 4, developer quality. S&P specifically flagged that smaller, less established developers face the sharpest downside the longer this drags on. Quality developers with proven track records and strong balance sheets are where you want to be. Now, understanding all of this conceptually is one thing, but actually applying it to your own portfolio is something completely different. That's exactly why I work directly with investors to review their portfolios, stress test their strategies, and build long term Dubai property plans that can handle environments like this. If you would like help doing this with your own investments, use the link below to book a call and see if we are a good fit to work together. But the biggest threat to most Dubai deals right now isn't geopolitics. It's a single structural mistake in how the deal is set up that turns a solid asset into a bad investment before you've even got the keys. Most investors don't catch it until it's too late. In the next video, I'm breaking down the number one reason Dubai property deals go wrong. If you want your strategy to actually hold up in the real world, you need to watch that one next.